You know the old saying, all that glitters isn't necessarily gold? Well, the one product that applies to more than anything else is the car. Us, the drivers, we're being duped every year with resprays and things that look like gold, but aren't underneath. They could be just scrap metal. 1 in 6 drivers has problems with their car, according to official figures, within 6 months of buying a new or second-hand car. I'm researching a documentary for ITV, looking at car troubles, people who've had quite serious troubles, either buying or selling or servicing. And believe me, there are plenty of people with problems. Now, not everyone would think that a Cortina is the coolest car in the world, but it's one man's pride and joy. Ken Banks has had a real problem. Hello, Ken.
Hi.
Right, what's happened?
Well, I put my car in to have a new roof on it. It's a soft top convertible. And I was going away on a holiday a fortnight afterwards. This was in May last year. And I said to him, you know, just don't hurry while you get the gear. And 14 months later, he's still got it.
14 months in the garage?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Well, I keep ringing him and he keeps on saying there's problems with materials and problem with wires, getting the roof up and down again, and then people have been off with broken legs and he's had insurance claims in, and he always, normally ring on a Friday, then he tells me to ring on the Wednesday, or he'll ring me. I think in the 14 months he's rung me about 3 times.
And you wanted that convertible roof because for you it's a classic car, isn't it? And you wanted to use it throughout the summer.
Because there was only 100 convertible Cortinas made, I believe.
What are you going to do now?
But I'm going to get some advice off the trading standards and see what they say. Well, I'm afraid to go down and see the car because to see what state it's in after 12 months, well, 14 months.
Well, good luck, Ken. I hope you get it sorted.
Thanks very much.
Ken's problem, particularly unusual, 14 months waiting for his car to get a new roof. Shouldn't laugh about it, but particularly unusual. If you have similar troubles, particularly if you've had problems with servicing, if you think you've been sold a dud car, give us a call on the number that's below. One of the standard lines used by dealers is, "They all do that." That rattle that won't go away is often a characteristic of the car. The Office of Fair Trading have reported that the extent of the problem in the £17 billion motor trade is appalling, and stated that used car salesmen were flagrantly trading on the ignorance of their customers. They've also said that up to 28,000 cars a year are written off after serious accidents, yet are patched up and put back on sale. If you have been sold what you think is a dud car or just a rusty pile of metal, or you've had a particularly bad service that's cost you a lot of money, you can go to Trading Standards. They're at every local council. I've come to Trafford Trading Standards to speak to Joe Mann, who's their head.
You're making a major purchase, one of the major purchases of your life, next to your house probably. Don't rush into these things. It's very easy to be taken in by a nice looking motor that seems to be your dream car, and that might not be there if you don't buy it that second. That's a recipe for disaster. The public really ought to take the time to shop around just as you would with any other major purchase. Look what you're going to buy, how you're going to finance it. Take someone with you who is qualified and skilled in examining a vehicle. Too many people buy a nice looking vehicle that's superficially shiny, got the radio, the fluffy dice, everything's there, and the underneath can be dropping out of it. So that's, again, is storing up problems for the future.
In your long career within Trading Standards, you must have seen some real scams. What sort of things have you seen?
Well, all sorts. I mean, the public face a very risky business when they go buying a second-hand car. It's often a case of the unscrupulous taking advantage of the uninformed. Most of us are not really technologically capable of telling what actually goes on under the bonnet. And so we see examples where major faults in engines have been disguised so that the vehicle will get about 2 or 3 miles down the road before it starts developing major engine or gearbox faults. There is still the problem of misdescription of vehicles, where the history is often a tissue of lies. The odometer, the mileometer may have been turned back by 40,000 miles to give an impression that the vehicle has only travelled a low mileage. And that can net up to £30 to £50 for every 1,000 miles for a dealer he turns a clock back.
If people do have car troubles, what are their rights? Can they get any sort of compensation?
You obviously would first of all approach the trader to try and get these things put right, but many of them would say that as soon as a vehicle left their forecourt, their liability went with it. That's not true, but then consumers have got to start looking at contacting trading standards, consumer advice centres to get information about what their rights are. If there are any misdescription elements, we would look into it. But they may at the end of the day be faced with having to take an action in a county court against a trader.
So some easy steps to avoid buying scrap metal when you think it looks like gold.